Hey everybody, Daryl here, and in this episode, I would like to share with you 4 steps to help the healing process of depression, loneliness, and anxiety. Stay tuned. Depression, anxiety, and loneliness, they're not the same thing, but it's something that affects millions of people. You're not alone in those hungers that you have. You see, modern society faces an epidemic in depression, loneliness, and anxiety, stress. These challenges come under many different names and labels. You could have burnout, you can have panic attacks, emotional detachment, so many different things. But it all boils down to actually one thing, and that is disconnection. Disconnection. You see, when we feel numbed out, emotional blunting is the term used for that. It's like this cotton padding my patients describe as something all around them that insulates them from the world or even from themselves. They can't feel themselves, their bodies, their emotions. They can't really feel the outside. Sometimes we feel so quickly overwhelmed. We can't focus. We can't express our emotions. Or we go through these emotional mood swings from anger all the way down to deep, deep sadness, irritability, low energy, thoughts of suicide. It's often this loss of passion, this loss of the interest of the things we used to love doing so much. There's no fire, there's no motivation. There's often with depression a hopeless outlook on life in general. Like, what's the point? Yeah, you wake up in the morning not excited to start the day, to the point where you feel like there's this motor inside of you that's just constantly buzzing for some people. Yeah, it's like this adrenaline or this motor, this nervousness, this restlessness, this tension that just eats up the energy. And for other people, it's a sense of fragmentation, of feeling not actually really there. Disassociation. You see, depression is not the same thing as grief or sadness. Grief or sadness is a very natural part of life and is healthy in the healing processes in dealing with loss. But once we come to a point of losing too much, it becomes overwhelm, where trauma, we don't have the normal capacity to deal with it. Then we come into a safety system that clicks in, a survival strategy that tries to deal with that overwhelm. We get this like a fuse box, a disconnection. Part of us turns off. Yeah? And it's a very complex process, dynamic, this disconnection. It's very individual. And it deals with factors from family, from your individual past, from your environment, from your energetic point of view, from your nutrition. So many things can affect it. Sometimes as a result of trauma, abuse, or neglect, or even self-neglect, this survival strategy of disconnection comes up like a survival measure, right? It's like this guardian, an inner guardian that's created. It's a way of coping. But the point is, whenever this coping mechanism comes on autopilot and you can't get back away from it, then it becomes detrimental. It takes away from the quality of life. Then the disconnection is there to try and cover up, not engage in the intensity from emotions or the situations that you're dealing with in your life. Traditional knowledge from indigenous cultures around the world help us to deal with these types of disconnections because they place value on relationships. Relationship with self, with nature, with family, with community, with spirit, with self, your authentic core. So when they diagnose a situation, they see what's going on with this depressed, anxious, lonely person, then they pull in the relationships. They say, what relationship is hungering the most? What relationship has been damaged or severed? And where can we come in to help and repair the relationship, the connection? When connection is created, resources and energy can flow again in a natural way. The body can then physically also heal from the symptoms that it has. So there's 4 steps that we deal with this now. In the first one, it's about inner tracking. So when you find yourself feeling and saying, I feel depressed today. Oh, I feel so stressed. What do I have to do now? Then you're going to focus a question within your own body, within your own self. You project the question within. And the question is, what am I feeling now? And then you let go, you surrender, and you see what comes back. This is called rebounding because we do this a number of times. You want to go through different layers of emotions within yourself. You're tracking layers of emotions. So you say, what am I feeling now? What else am I feeling now? What is this telling me now? And you keep asking yourself those kind of questions. You say, well, I feel alone. All right, what messages am I saying about myself, about my world? Keep reflecting deeper. What am I allowed to see now? You go deeper. What is the belief behind my pain? And you go deeper. Until you come to a point, a core essence within yourself. Perhaps you feel nobody loves you, or you feel that nobody sees you. Yeah. Whatever it is, you be present with that. And then you come to the second step. You neutralize that black hole, that space that feels like it just sucks energy into a nothingness, right? You use presence. You use the loving witness to be present and hold that within you. So you don't just identify immediately with that. You feel it, you allow the feeling, and then you're also witnessing that feeling as if you're holding and seeing, even hugging that feeling. You're sending love to that self, part of yourself. You want to, in that neutralizing, you want to get the physical movement into the process. If your whole body becomes blocked, your emotions become blocked, nothing comes in or out, then you want to use a static, spontaneous movement, shaking, stomping your feet, small vibrating shaking movements. Use your breath, and you want to get that flowing again until you allow that spontaneous movement to give expression to that emotion and that state inside of yourself so that it can move again in your self-regulating system. The third step is about rebuilding relationships. So here you have to shift your perspective from a reactive point of view or orientation to a proactive orientation. From the reactive, you're saying, oh, what do I have to do now? If this happens, then I'm stressed. If that happens, then I'm feeling peaceful. We push all of our power outside of us, and it becomes overwhelming very quickly. When we shift the focus to proactive, then we say, what inspires me now? What turns me on in life? What helps me feel alive? Where do I feel alive in my life? And if it takes even hooking in on a memory of the past, that's enough to get you out of the hole, the rut in the beginning. So you're taking this in order to get more engaged. You're looking at rebuilding the relationships, also with nature. Get out in nature. Reconnect. Touch. Use your senses. Connect with the earth. Connect with your heart, with the weather systems, with the place you live. Reconnect with social systems. And I know that it's hard in the beginning. So choose safe relationships where you can first reach out little by little. Create engaging activities where you are starting to get into movement again. And lastly, with that, you create a decision and a commitment to get the help and support you need. It's a strong decision, a commitment to get out of, to embrace the pain, the emotion, so that you can work through it. Not alone, but in connection. The fourth and last step is to make your world big. Get big. Now, what do I mean by that? You use the resource of purpose to heal. You use prayer and spirituality as a way to get out of an egocentrical focus lock, where you're locked in on your own problem and pain and suffering, as a way to open and saying, let me be of service. Let me help someone else out, even with it's a little baby step, even with something small. I say a little prayer, and that opens my focus, my perspective, to something much larger than myself. My world gets big through the spirituality and through giving meaning and purpose. When my world gets big, then all that's been cramped up inside of me, in that small little me, through a self-regulation process is allowed to move. The energies within us can move once again. And we're connected to larger energy systems. 4 steps. Use inner tracking, neutralize the black hole, rebuild relationships, and make your world big. Oftentimes we get stuck in these toxic affirmations that drain our energy and make us unhappy and powerless. It's such a routine thought process, emotional process, belief process. No, I'm not good enough. Oh, this is too much. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. And it's so automatic that it is hard to get out. So I recommend using these 4 steps, making a commitment to change just that 1%, that atomic habit, that 1% change per day, where you make that effort through the decision to get reconnected, plugged in to life once again. Hope this helped. Let me know in the comments below what you use to help you reconnect with life once again. See you next time. And if you like this video, click like below and look forward to the exchange in the future. Have an amazing day. Bye.